Hi, I'm James Caan. I wrote the novels of Return of the Jedi, Poltergeist, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Doom.
Hey, I'm UFC strawweight Rana Marcos.
Hey, it's Tyler from Theory of a Dead Man.
Hey, I'm Tim Coates. Hi, this is Scott Coker, president of Bellator MMA.
Hey guys, I'm Canadian Olympian Lauren Susselman.
Hey guys, this is Mia Kang, Sports Illustrated swimsuit model and Muay Thai fighter.
Hey everybody, what's happening? This is Zach Wild from Black Label Society.
Hey everybody, this is Devin Townsend, and you're listening to the Toddcast podcast. Enjoy.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by The Pint, Vancouver's favorite sports bar at 455 Abbott Street and online at vancouver.thepint.ca. Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Have you ever had a brush with death where you could have, you should have died? You might be surprised. Most everyone you know has, or certainly a good percentage. Personally, I've had a few. I had a really close call with a black bear in grade 6 up in Terrace. Things chasing me and my mom. Was literally seconds from being smashed by a train, dicking around, crossing a bridge, and suddenly it's on top of me. I had a really dicey flight between Vancouver and Calgary. The turbulence got so bad that some of the passengers were making the sign of the cross, and people are crying, flying out of their seats as we're dropping hundreds of feet at a time. Very scary stuff. And that is what this week is all about. You'll hear from 12 guests in this Near-Death Stories podcast. It's a good week. If you like what you're about to hear, please tell your friends and share. Word of mouth is a big way we get more people following, more people listening, and we see it daily online with retweets and shares on Facebook and comments. All of that stuff helps out, so thank you so much. Coming up in about 10 minutes in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, Bellator MMA fighter Carrie Melendez shares her near-death story as we stick to the theme of this week's podcast. That is powered by our new sponsors, FKP MMA. My little guy Levi has been going there for close to about a year now. He absolutely loves it. Mr. Franco and Jaden Martin, the owners, Maria, they're all super nice. They love what they do. Levi literally coming out red-faced, just beaming about learning spinning back fists and kicks and punches and how to submit somebody. If you're thinking about MMA, check out Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. Now, Corey Hart was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 2019. 16 million albums sold worldwide, 9 U.S. Billboard Top 40 hits, 30 Top 40 hits in Canada, was nominated for the Best New Artist Grammy Award in 1984, is a multiple Juno Award winner.
Whoa, man, you're really killing me on this. Speaking of near-death, oh, man, have I ever had a near-death experience? Yeah, I almost did in Spain, coming out of a little greasy spoon where they sold fried chicken, and it was a very, very narrow street, and at the last second, a lady tapped me on the shoulder and pulled me back because I was walking out onto the street with all the chickens because my kids were waiting in the car on the other side of the street, and I wanted to rush to them to bring the chickens. And a car just whizzed right by. Had she not tapped me on the shoulder, I would have gone straight into that car.
Wow. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah, I lost my appetite for the chicken, but there you go.
You could argue that the Smashing Pumpkins is one of the most influential rock bands of the 90s. They're from Chicago. They formed in 1988, almost 35 years ago. Albums debuting #1 on Billboard, 25 million albums sold worldwide, and their drummer, Jimmy Chamberlain, shared a near-death story.
Geez, I don't know. I mean, probably, yeah. Back in the 90s, I'm sure we all had many of them. Yes. Back in my kind of less healthy days, there was a lot of that kind of stuff going around, but not lately. I mean, I'm pretty much, straight arrow yoga, yeah. Gluten and dairy, red meat, that type of thing. So I don't drink. So near-death experience for me is like, geez, I don't know. Hopefully not.
You'll know Melissa Etheridge from a bunch of hit songs, and like the Pumpkins, she's been around since 1988. Couple Grammy Award wins, millions of albums sold, got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2011.
I've had so much cannabis that I thought I was having a near-death experience, but it wasn't really a near-death experience.
It was just really good weed.
really, it's that, oh, I've eaten too many edibles.
Right.
Everyone's like, oh my God, I'm dying sort of thing. Yeah, I've been there before.
And when you're talking 80s rock bands and influential rock albums, you'd better include Tesla's Mechanical Resonance, The Great Radio Controversy, Psychotic Supper, all three fantastic. And when their drummer, Troy Lucetta, was a guest, he shared a near-death story.
Yeah, I probably have. And, back in the day, I look back at a lot of situations that I survived.
Right.
That could have been, ended differently. I had a friend. The first thing that comes to mind when I really think about it would be the closest near-death experience. And I don't know if I would have lived and survived it or not. But there was this guy, I was very young, probably 13, 14 years old, and he used to hang around the family, and he was a biker, and we were coming back from somewhere, and he used to always get drunk, and he was, I'd be in the freaking car with this, in his truck, I should say,
mm-hmm.
and there was a couple of occasions where one time I had to drive the truck home, and I was so young, I don't even know how I did it. But we were coming, and there was a cliff, and I don't know, man, he hit his brakes and turned the wheel. We stopped right before the cliff, and that could have been it right then and there,
Yeah, depending on the cliff, that's a game over.
Yeah. When I look back right now, I had been was hitchhiking one time. I got picked up by a guy. The fact that I got out of that car was a miracle.
Really?
I don't even want to share the story. I was very, very young, and when I think back about it, it's the stuff we read about every day. You know what I mean? I made it out of that situation. I've had near drug experiences, things that have happened over the years back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's been a few.
Yeah, I'm very, very full, and I'm very God-centered, and very blessed, and I have a long list of gratitudes, and so I try to live well today and share with others anything that I can that might help pick somebody up and move them forward.
Musical guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Pineapple Sound, providing recording and mixing services for a wide range of artists and genres since 2013. Check them out at pineapplesound.com.
Happens every single time. I Not tired of the things you say. They tried but couldn't walk away. They're caught up in your gravity. Keeps getting worse. 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 Keeps getting worse.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast Podcast.
If you're a fan of MMA, watching the fights, you'll definitely want to dig around at our iTunes page and find the full conversation with Bellator MMA strawweight Carrie Melendez. She's a pro Muay Thai and kickboxing fighter, and we had a great conversation. Talked about what it was that got her into martial arts, binge watching Billions, The Walking Dead, and Punisher, all great shows. Her first concert at Southern California's Wango Tango Festival, watching tape before fights, legalized marijuana, which superpower that she'd want to have, an average training week, which is crazy. And stop me if you've heard this before, Carrie shared a near-death experience story about being hit by a car.
Well, when I was young, I was, I think, 5 or 6, and I vaguely remember, but I do remember that I was hit by a car.
What?
Yes, and I had a brother who was a year older than me, and we were crossing the street, and I was 5, and he was 6. So who knows where my parents were, but our two older brother and sisters were there. We're trying to go swimming across the street. And he's like, come on, Carrie, let's go. Come right now. And I was nervous. And I think if I would have went when he said, it would have been fine. But I was like I just was scared to cross the street. And I got hit by a car.
Wow.
So I consider that near death.
Stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast Podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com.
Like there was nothing you could do or say. Just about the time you said that it was over and he walked away. This time will be the last time that you're ever gonna hear him say, I'm sorry, I could do better, cause it sounds all the same. And you'll do better with me. You're not the flavor of the week, but you'll never know. Come on over, get to love, cause you'll never know.
band is Best Night Ever, and their awesome song called Better, and they are playing the next Blue Light Sessions with the Toddcast at the end of the month, the last Friday of this month, August 26th at Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver. It's just $20 to get in. You can grab tickets right now through eventbrite.ca if you'd like to risk it. I'm going to risk it, and hopefully tickets are at the door. Well, there's only 60 tickets sold, so hopefully you can get in. But I would suggest grabbing tickets now, again, through eventbrite.ca. It's an acoustic night. There's a Q&A I will be hosting from stage. You get to ask questions as well. Of course, there's a full bar for 19 plus. Doors are at 7 o'clock. Show starts at 8. We should be done around 10, which is relatively an early night for a Friday night. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Best Night Ever is just an absolutely killer band. A good group of guys as well. Incredible players. Straight up elite in our scene. I cannot wait for August 26th, and hopefully we'll see you there. All right, back to more near-death stories, and this time from a handful of our past sporting guests. Of course, you'll know Ariane Celeste from being a ring card girl for the UFC. You've also seen her in so many magazines, namely Maxim, FHM, Sports Illustrated, Playboy.
Well, actually, yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, when I was a kid, I was doing I was playing with my cousins, and my cousins they're brothers, and they're very competitive. And I was the judge to their contest, and they were doing who could stay underwater the longest. And my favorite cousin, of course, I said won. And then my other cousin, and I didn't know how to swim at the time. I was probably in kindergarten. He tried to drown me. So I just remember
wow,
trying to swim and trying to catch my breath. And I remember it so clearly. And then my favorite cousin saved me. So
wow,
yeah, that has happened.
Wow.
So I always make fun of my other cousin, and I'm like, yeah, you remember that time that you all went guilty? That's pretty messed up.
What does the name Hillbilly Jim conjure up for you? He was a WWE superstar between 1984 and 1991, wrestling alongside Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Hillbilly was part of WrestleMania 2. His final match was August 31st, 1990 against Black Bart. Listen to Hillbilly Jim's near-death story.
Yes, I have. I was in a car wreck one time when I was a young kid. That was pretty bad. My mother, my brother, myself, and it was pretty messed up. And I could have bought the farm at that time. I think the only other thing that comes to my mind, and this is true, I was already a big guy, but I was at a buddy of mine's house one day, and this is the stupidest thing, because first off, I am not a gun freak, okay? Now, we got this gun thing. I ain't into guns. I have some guns, but I don't do that. I don't hunt nowhere. I go to the grocery store to get my food. I don't have to hunt for meat, so I'm not a gunhead. But I was in his house one day, and this was years ago, and I'll never forget this guy's name, and I'm going to say it, but it's not going to mean nothing to you. His name was J.D. Pierce, and he was over in a little county called Emerson County, and I was in J.D.'s house, and he had a shotgun sitting in the corner, and I picked it up and looked at it and just looked up, and somehow or another, I didn't realize the damn guy had the shotgun loaded.
Wow.
I had it up in the air, and I accidentally must have touched that trigger. That thing shot off through the ceiling. And I'm thinking, man, I could have bought the farm right there then, or I could have killed somebody. Because I understand he had the gun there, and it was okay, but the thing was already loaded, ready to go immediately. It wasn't like you had to cock it, or you had to pull nothing back, or you had to take off the safety. So those are two things that
wow, Jim.
Farm buying moments by the hillbilly.
You'll probably remember Ross Rebliati's gold medal win at the 1998 Nagano Olympics, if anything, because of the way everything played out. He was the first Olympian to win a gold medal for men's snowboarding, but after winning, they found THC in a blood test, and he was disqualified, even though marijuana was not on the list of banned substances. The ruling, of course, was overturned. The day after he got his medal back, Ross was a guest of The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Yeah, I had a good one in Alaska, heli skiing one time when I was on a really crazy steep slope, like 50 degrees, and it was one of those slopes where if you fall, it's just like jumping off a building, like you're not stopping. And I was able to, ended up doing a forward roll sort of because it was so steep, and then I dug my board in sideways and was able to stop. But Alaska was that moment, and then that was probably the one. I did see a shark a couple of times surfing in Costa Rica, but it wasn't like trying to get me, so I didn't really feel like I might have died.
And Rally UHC Cycling pro racer Sarah Bergen is from Vancouver. She rode in the women's road race in the 2016 UCI Road World Championships. A couple top 15 finishes. She finished second at the 2016 Delta Road Race. She took on La Course a few years back, which is basically the guys' Tour de France. She actually shared a couple near-death stories. Here's one of them.
One of my all-time favorite trips. So when I'm not like doing the bike thing, I like to kind of tromp around in the outdoors. But so me and one of my good friends, we were doing this kayak trip out North Vancouver Island, and like the whole purpose was we went in like October, shoulder season, was to go kayak, and there's like tons of orcas up there, and we're pretty much on a mission to find orcas, and it's like a multi-day kayak excursion up there. And it's sick. Like, we've done a couple of these before, and it's amazing. Like, first of all, it's like literally the most beautiful place in the world. Like, water is like super crazy cold, but super clear, so you can see down like so far, and it's just like this like West Coast like magical land. So we're up there, and like there's no cell service, and you're on your own. Like, you gotta take care of yourself, and you don't want to go in the water. Like, you go in the water, like shit gets gnarly pretty quick. Like, really quick. But the fog kind of, like, each morning, like, it's very West Coast, the fog kind of hangs low, and then it clears out to the day when the wind picks up. So we hear, like, it's foggy, it's still, we hear, like, and it's literally, like whales. Like, we can hear them in the fog, and we're like, shit. Like, get on your boat. Like, we're getting out in the water, this is going to be sick. So we get in our kayaks, we're out in the water, and there was this rock, which was like a sea lion rock that we'd passed the day before. And I guess at this time of year, they were pretty aggressive. And, like, they're not like seals. They're like freaking sea lions. They're like the grizzly bears of, like, the ocean.
Yeah, right.
So they pop up, and they're like, their heads are like literally like twice the size of a human head. And they're like aggressive. Like, they will like kind of rush you. And you're like, shit, like, these things are huge, these sea lions. They're like the size of your kayak. But in our excitement to go see the killer whales, we're paddling, and this rock, which is like, I guess, the sea lion rock, because of the tides, it's now underwater, so we don't really have the same bearing on it. So we're getting, like, really, really quite close to this rock.
Yeah.
And just because of how, like, the currents run, like, around the islands, like, whenever there's a current, like, the best thing to do in a kayak, for all of those who aren't, like, huge kayakers, like, you don't want to take the current at, like, a weird angle, because that could kind of, like, like, things can get gnarly. You want to take it, like, perpendicular or ride with it. So I'm kind of, like, the current's coming, the whale's over there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to paddle kind of, like, at a perpendicular angle through this current and then towards the whales. But the sea lions have, like, organized, and I look back, and there's literally, like, a wall of, like, 6 sea lions, like, coming, like, rushing my boat, like shoulder to shoulder, like, tsunami of sea lions. And I was just like, even your heart just drops, and you're just like, well, shit. Like, this is not ideal. So I remember looking, like, my buddy, he's like, so the sea lions is to my left, my buddy's to my right, and he's looking at me, and I'm just like, this is a situation. You can see it in his face, like, yeah, this is the right situation. So you just kind of, like, I'm like, all right, focus, like, you can't freak out. You can't really do much except, like, paddle in your straight line on your course the way you were going, like, straight through this current, as these sea lions come now and, like, parallel to your boat at, like, the worst, like, angle possible. And I swear, I just, like my freaking heart and my life, like, flashed before my eyes. Because I'm like, first of all, you don't want to go in the water. It's cold. And I'm like, second of all, you don't want to go in the water with these freaking gnarly creatures who are, like, trying to, like, create a tsunami to, like wreck your boat.
I'm not going in the
water. Yeah, so just, like, and, like, maximum speed paddle, like, through the current, into the fog. sea lions, like, you know, I was far enough away that, you know, it was just like you and bears, like, they rush. It was just like their rush, and I got, like, out of the way enough. That was, like, pretty much the end of it. But I just, like, sat there, like, heart in the freaking lungs, just like, doo, 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 doo. And then, of course, the orcas come by, and I'm, like, having this heart attack, and I'm like, holy shit, that's, like, super majestic and crazy. These, like, orcas in the fog, and I'm like, I almost died over there. Like, this is nuts. Yeah.
Holy shit. I think that one's closer to death than the bike.
Oh, yeah, it was real, because I'm like, just the scenarios after, and I was like, I can't even think about it. Like,
no.
Red Truck Beer. You never forget your first truck. Official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
And I play inside my head over and over again. Imagine that the ocean would swallow me whole. And I would follow you down to the coast where you told me to go if I ever missed you like home. And I trapped inside this bed, living like a ghost. You thought he made me better. I thought that I was better. And I just want you back. I just wanna feel your skin against mine. Oh, I swear that I miss you like home. You've taken every part of me. I need you like the air I breathe. Home, I'm broken into pieces. They don't fit right anymore. I'm slipping through the cracks of this old wooden floor. And you promised you would never leave me alone. Don't leave, don't leave. This won't feel like home. You've taken every part of me. Do you need me like the air you breathe? Home, you've taken every part of me. Do you need me like the air you breathe? Home. I miss you like I miss you like.
I mean, basically, that band has had me since note number one. They are Winter Youth, one of my favorites in Vancouver scene. Great song for them called Home. We've been supporting their stuff since they were called Little Crow. If you're here and going like, why do I recognize her voice? Emily is simply one of the best voices ever. If you're even remotely a fan of comic book movies, the last decade or more was probably right up your alley. Marvel and DC just banging them out. A lot of really good stuff, a lot of great series as well, like Supergirl, filmed here in Vancouver. And actor David Harewood has been a guest. He plays Martian Manhunter.
But I was in New York, in the Hamptons, and on the beach, throwing frisbees about, and frisbee kind of went past me and went into the water, and it literally looked about 10 meters. I thought, that's no problem, I'll go and get it. So I jumped in, started swimming, and before I knew it, I quickly realized that I wasn't getting anywhere. And I kept thinking, I'm not getting any closer to this bloody frisbee. I thought, I'm nearly there. But I realized I'd been swimming, and I was tired when I actually got there. And I finally got to the frisbee, and I turned around, I looked, and I was about a mile away from the fucking beach. Immediate panic. I started swimming back to the bar, wasn't getting anywhere. And then I just saw this lifeguard just telling me, swim down, swim down.
Oh.
And he was trying to tell me to not swim into the beach, but swim down the beach.
Right.
And I was exhausted and going under. And I was really thinking, I'm going to go here. I'm actually going to go here.
Wow.
And I just kept saying, not today, just not today. And I was flashing around and flailing around. And by the time I could reach the bottom, I was halfway down the beach from where I was, exhausted, and just got out and just collapsed on the beach. I just said to myself, not today. Just not today.
David, you wouldn't believe how many... I've had, in the last 5 years of doing this podcast, I've probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, maybe 400 guests. And I've asked pretty much every one of them, 90% of them, this question. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that have almost died from swimming.
Yeah, man. Particularly on the beach, you think it's lovely, but you hit that riptide, man. You know it.
You're not getting back. You're tossed under. So many people have said they've been thrown under the waves, hitting rocks and shit. Like, just insane stuff, man. Like insane, like massive scars on, like with the singer from Dirty Heads was on surfing, and he got tossed underneath, but his board came up and slashed him right in the face. He's got this massive scar now because of it. Like, crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, it happens. Crazy. It's very easy. Very easy to happen.
You'll know Talia Paris as Playboy's Cyber Girl of the Year 2017. She's been modeling since the age of 5 after being scouted by an agency. Check out the near-death story that she shared.
I would say, actually just kind of recently, on the 4th of July, me and my cousin went to Ocean City, Maryland, which is super random, but my friend's in a band, and so we went to go watch them play in Baltimore, and they had like a day off, and so we went to Ocean City, Maryland, and we had like a couple of drinks, and we went, and we're like, what should we do? And we were like, okay, like, let's go jet skiing. So we go jet skiing, and it was supposed to be him on his own jet ski and then me and my cousin sharing one. And for some reason they like overbooked and had too many people, and so it ended up being me, him, and my cousin all on one jet ski. And so of course I'm getting in the middle, like I'm way too scared. And the way that it works is like they have like a really tiny like boat that you're supposed to follow, so the boat goes first and it's kind of like a line, and there's maybe like us and then like 10 other jet skis. So you all just follow the boat in like a straight line. And so we're driving the jet ski, and we're kind of like looking, like we're looking at like the scenery. It's super beautiful, like the greenery. And all of a sudden we look in front of us, and the little boat that we were following was at a complete stop. Like it was just completely stopped, and like the kid who was driving it was like waving his hands in the air, like trying to tell us to stop. But honestly, like it was just way too late. Like the person driving the jet ski, he couldn't have done anything. Like he either could have like turned it, and we like would have like slipped, and like the jet ski would have like landed on top of us or something.
Holy shit.
But luckily, like the boat was at kind of like an upwards position, so it was almost like a ramp. So we literally ran into the boat, and we jumped the boat, and we landed it on the jet ski.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so scary. Like I'm not even kidding. Like we jumped the boat and we landed it, and I was like shaking. Like I swear, I was like, oh my, like we literally almost died.
Comedian Von DeCarlo wrote a book called Speak Fluent Man, and maybe that's how you know her. Or maybe it's through her web series, Trash Talk with Von DeCarlo. Or maybe it's just through her stand-up. She's great. Effortless, natural, spontaneous.
I have many. God has been watching over me, and I must have a purpose, and I believe we all have a purpose on earth until we're no longer here. Your purpose has been fulfilled, whatever that may be. So I have been blessed to be in New York City for a long, long time, from small town USA, and I could give you probably 10 stories, but I'll give you my 9/11 story. And I'll tell you, 9/11, I had to get to Jersey, and to get to Jersey, I was in Midtown. I was staying in Midtown, and it's I believe the ACE line, the blue line. To get to Jersey, I had to take the ACE line at 50th Street down to the World Trade Center, then transfer at the World Trade Center to the PATH train, get on the PATH train, get to Jersey, Newark Penn Station, get on the bus, take a bus to Hillside, New Jersey, which is where I was going because my daughter at the time, my daughter's grandmother babysat her overnight. So this is the trip I have to make. But this is, early 2000s. I'm super broke. I'm still kind of super broke. I'm working on that. But as a comic, you kind of, stay in a certain pocket for a while. But I got down to the World Trade Center, and I didn't have enough money to get on the PATH train. And so I got out and went upstairs, and I was looking for a Washington Mutual Bank, which tells you how long ago this is again, even though you know when 9/11 happened. My bank at the time was Washington Mutual, and I did not have enough money to just go to any regular ATM and incur any fees. That, it's unaccessible to get fees because that would be a 99-cent sandwich that I could eat somewhere for the week. I can't afford those fees. So I'm searching for a Washington Mutual. I find one. I take money out, and then I go purchase, was it still tokens at the time or a card? I don't remember. Probably tokens. Either way, I purchased whatever I needed to get on the PATH train. And I remember before I went in to purchase the PATH train ticket, it was such a beautiful day. And I sat down right outside where there were benches, and I was looking up. I was like, oh, my God, it's so nice out. And, again, this will date it because no one wears watches anymore. This voice in my ear just came over me and said, look at your watch. Look at what time it is. You got to go. Her grandma's going to kill you. You're going to be late. And I looked down at my watch, and it was like 8:45 a.m. And I went in, and I got on the PATH train, went to Jersey, got on the bus, took the bus to Hillside. I got to Hillside, and when I rang the doorbell and they opened the door in a panic attack because they all knew my route to get there. They were like, oh, my God. And I said, what? What is wrong? What is everybody? And they told me what was happening. I'm like, I was just there. Not only was I just there, I was just sitting on the bench. I was looking up at the sky. I didn't see anything. Everything's fine. You guys watch too much TV. And they brought me over to the television. They were like, look. And right when I stood in front of the TV, the first tower came down.
Wow.
I was speechless. I couldn't. Wow. I'm getting chills now. Like, I would never forget that feeling in that moment where I was just sitting there and that could have landed on top of me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the lives that were lost that day, it will never emotionally recover from that. And every year I see people posting on 9/11, never forget, never forget, never forget. And I don't do that because I like to remind people just my experience in my loss of my fiance when he died 7 years ago. And I said, I like to remind people on 9/11 that we have the convenience of saying never forget once a year on 9/11. But there are people and their families that have to live with that loss every single day.
And you'll know actor Zach Ward from his role as Scut Farkas on A Christmas Story, which of course is arguably the best Christmas story of all time. You've seen him in a ton of stuff, actually. He played Dave on Titus, the stoner half-brother. You've seen him on NCIS, Lost, Crossing Jordan. He's had roles in Almost Famous, Transformers, was in Resident Evil Apocalypse, Freddy vs. Jason, and a lot more. Listen to Zach's near-death story.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of those. Scariest one in a boat sailing from Australia to Japan in a typhoon, and the ship submarined, and then when it came out, it it rolled over on the other side, and I got thrown out of the wheelhouse because I was steering the ship at 3:30 in the morning. And there was this tiny little railing made out of galvanized plumbing, about an inch thick. And I was going into the drink, and it was 16-foot tall swells, waves, sorry. And just to put in perspective, if there's a 1-foot tall swell and you fall over the side, I can't see your head.
Wow.
You know, it's just no way to see you. So 16 feet is like you're gone.
Yeah.
And you're gone, and drowning is one of the worst ways to die. So I hit the side of this railing, and I'm going into the drink, and I'm holding on, and I break like 3 ribs, and I fall back inside, and I'm just like crying like a bitch. I'm 19 years old, and I'm just terrified. And the whole boat's submarined. They're not supposed to do that. And then my captain comes up across the gangway, across the deck of the ship, putting himself on the rope, and comes up in the wheelhouse, takes the wheel, and I go back to the bench behind the map table. And the second I'm on that bench, I pass out and go to sleep. Like, I'm going to sleep well, out. But it was that moment. Like, I was literally standing on the wall, because when the ship went under submarined, it was all the way over to its port side. So it's left as you're facing forward.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And it was
dude.
all the way over. And the mast we were all underwater. So I was standing on the wall to stand upright.
Toddcast Podcast entertainment guest visits are powered by Canuck Auctions, Canada's largest memorabilia and collectibles auction house. Find them online at canuckauctions.com.
Think you're so rich, I know, got to control you so
No Liars, and unfortunately, they are no longer around. An awesome song for them called Old Friends Die Young. It was the song that I was introduced to them by. They're the lone non-Vancouver band of this week's podcast from Victoria, and unfortunately, they posted on their Facebook page back in December 2020. This year has not been kind to many, and it's with heavy hearts that we're stepping away from releasing music as No Liars. We've had ongoing disputes with a former member, and we found ourselves unable to carry on under that name. With that said, we're thrilled to announce our new project, Poor Sport, with everyone. Maybe they'll name their debut Phoenix, or something like that. Something always rises from the ashes, as cliche as that sounds. I hope you enjoyed this week. They're super fun to put together. These themed and best of podcasts usually get more plays than our regular week-to-week podcast, so that's got to say something. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, again, please tell your friends. You can subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, also on YouTube. Comment and rate the podcast. It helps out with search engine results and whatnot. A simple search of Toddcast Podcast. Well, before we wrap things up this week, check this out. We have 3 pairs of general admission weekend passes to give away to Ambleside Music Festival.
2 stages, 3 days, and the best views in the city. It's the Ambleside Music Festival at Ambleside Park in West Vancouver, featuring The Offspring, Mother, Mariana's Trench, Walk Off the Earth. Over 20 bands in total performing. The Ambleside Music Festival, August 12th to 14th. Single day passes now available at AmbleSideFestival.com.
I cannot wait for this weekend. 2 stages, 3 days, the best views of the city. Ambleside Music Festival at Ambleside Park, West Vancouver, August 12, 13, and 14. We're talking Offspring, Mother, Mariana's Trench, Walk Off the Earth, Grandson. Love those guys. Tokyo Police Club, Hannah George's, the Bluestones, again, a great band. The Harpoonist and the Axe Murderer. Of course, you've heard those guys lots on this podcast. The Darcys, Little Destroyer, so many amazing bands. Single day passes, just $99 plus tax through AmbleSideFestival.com, or head over to our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts and enter to win one of 3 pairs of general admission weekend passes at Toddcast Podcast. A big thanks to Jason at Audionautics for allowing us to use some of his tracks in this week's podcast. You won't believe this guy's page, audionautics.com. That's audio, Nautix.com. Free audio, so many genres. He's just looking for a shout out if and when you use his work, which is more than fair. So thank you, Jason. Appreciate you letting us use your stuff. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors as well. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. Contact info is at the homepage. Maybe we'll hang out, have a beer, have a coffee, see what's up. And keep in mind, if you find a business to jump on as a sponsor, you will get a commission based on the initial ad buy. Till next week, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by The Pint, Vancouver's favorite sports bar at 455 Abbott Street, and online at vancouver.thepint.ca.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, you know we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
The Tudors were probably the most scandalous dynasty in British history. This season on Vulgar History, we're spilling the tea on this messy, messed up family and the people who had to live through it all. Anne Boleyn and the other wives of Henry VIII are known today from the musical Six, but who were they really? Did any of them actually want to marry him? Henry VIII, the man who was literally the worst? How did two of them manage to escape with their heads intact? We'll also get into historical mysteries, like who really wrote Shakespeare's plays, who was the real Bloody Mary, and what was happening elsewhere in the world while the Tudors were trampling all over England, like the mysterious disappearance of the Roanoke colony and the true story of the girl known as Pocahontas. I'll be joined by Tudor historians, experts, and a few of my friends who really hate Henry VIII to learn all about the Tudors this season on Vulgar History. Because it's Henry VIII all day, every day. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts. Do you ever watch a TV show set in a historical time period and think, how accurate is this really? But also, does it matter if it's accurate or not?
Nefertiti is a new podcast about shows set in ancient times. This season, we're recapping every episode of the show Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
I'm Ann Foster, and I have never seen this show before.
And I'm Gina Berry, and I have watched this show maybe too many times.
Join us every other Monday on the Nefertiti podcast as we discuss the real history behind Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
Follow Nefertiti, that's NEFER TV, wherever you get your podcasts.